Okay, so the next skill is 42, mastering tables, all right? Tables are just kind of like graphs, except only numbers. That's really all there is to it. So they're all over the ACT Science section, and here's what you have to look for. So first of all, the boring parts, right? What does each row and column represent, right? Here, each row is a flare type, okay? And something in the text part will tell you what flares are, all right? Probably, I don't know, solar flares, who knows? But you read about it. And then you look at each column. Okay, so there's first, before you look at the columns, you look at the heading. Percent of NaCl particles having diameters, and then they give you the unit of the diameters. I think that's micrometers. Doesn't really matter. It might matter in a question, but okay, some really small little things. And so the percent of NaCl particles having a diameter in micrometers of 0.1 to 0.5, 0.6 to 1, 1 to 2, and then 2 to 5. So like, one thing to notice here is this column, the numbers are way bigger. So most of the NaCl particles have really the smallest diameters of 0.1 to 0.5, so 64%. And that's important to notice. These numbers represent percentages. So 64% and 72% and 81 and 90% have diameters this size. And then the biggest diameters, it's the smallest percentages. So that's another thing, is you want to really notice trends, and it's going down across the board for each of them. It just gets smaller and smaller percentages for the larger the diameter gets. That's it. You've got the table. Okay, just looking at, so that's the story. We're looking for trends, right? You might draw lines here. It's like, okay, so for flare types 8, if you go down, it's going up for this, and this was going the other direction. So that might be something to notice. It's also good to notice, okay, they actually tell you how big a micrometer is. It's 10 to the negative 6 meters. So 1/1,000,000th of a meter. Wow, small. But that's the kinds of things that you want to notice in a table. Trends, 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 and units, and what they're talking about, percentages, okay? So one last point, you don't actually have to notice any of this before you hit the question. The question will guide you concerning what to look for in the table. So it's not like you have to memorize the table, but if you can have a quick look at this table before you hit the questions and be like, okay, that's going on, that's good. Again, you don't really have to. You can just hit the questions and then notice these trends in the context of answering a question.